Hey everyone, we're here on Cyrene, and I like to do these Arrats because they give good skills and have relatively good drops, so it's more likely that we break even. Plus, we want to work up their Codex. See, there's the Lesser Claw right out the gate. Last time I was on Cyrene, they had like 500% markup or so, yep. So that still seems to be holding true. And so I was given this gun to kind of check out and work through from a buddy of mine. And I really like it. It's the laser version of the one that's the Cyrene mission token quest. We do kill them pretty fast, so sometimes there's a little bit of a lag on the respawn here. And I guess we could head down to the Arrat Island if we were really worried about it, but they still respawn pretty quickly. And this is right by the teleporter, which makes it super nice. And you could do these just with a trade terminal gun. A lot of times I'll use the Barbarella out here. The pixie armor is nice because they do hit kind of hard when you have no armor on. Oh, there's a jagged tooth. That's excellent. We use that in crafting that Inked Dire S1. And they have good markup as well. Yep, 550%. So we also can get bones out here. Oddly, we can get tree dragon hide. This is actually the only spot I've got it. We did a small hunt on those ridge tree dragons and the fin dragons, and we didn't get a single drop. We've got like 3 to drop out here. They're pretty rare though, either way. You see, like, mostly we're going to get some shrapnel, like always. We'll get a little bit of oil residue. These, it's nice that we get a little bit of this stuff. Um, for one, we use some of it, but if we didn't, we would literally be able to save a stack of that up without too much trouble. As we work through the codex and upload it as like a nice size payout at the end. I don't know if it's enough to make up that 10% loss. The the with the expectation of getting a 90% return. Reality wise, I probably only get 80-ish% return. Between 80 and 85 somewhere would be my guess. I don't run a tracking program or anything like that. Although someone advised to check out Loot Nanny, and so that might happen at some point. I just haven't got a chance to get around to that, honestly. So it seems we're getting a fair amount of those jagged teeth today, which is pretty nice, honestly. It'll stop us from having to buy them when we go to make the next round of daily, do that Cyrenian daily again. Honestly, I'd like to get to where these mobs are swantable for us. They just hit too hard. So we need more evasive skills and more regeneration, I think. There we got some bone. It does not have the same markup as the other stuff, but it does still have okay markup. 150-ish%, I think. Ooh, 200%. 180 is what I see normally. Um, Now that I think about it a little bit. And so it's still right in that zone. But you can get a significant amount of stuff. Not value wise, right? So like most of our loot is still going to be this other stuff. Um, like 3 ped to 25 pack. So 12 times as much as just this stuff, and then a big portion of that is going to be shrapnel for us. But it does add up, and it's nice if you can offload it at the end. Same with this advanced mineral extractor, I think. Now 150% markup, still nothing to sneeze at. I'm actually curious about this other extractor as well. 115, 117%. That's also not horrible. So they have a wide range of loot that has a fair amount of markup. The downside is there's a wide range of it, so it takes a long time to collect a sellable stack. Unlike the muscle oil and the shrapnel, in which you get an abundance of that. And it stacks up pretty quickly. The other stuff, not so much. Although we've been doing pretty good so far. Good amount of jagged teeth. It's kind of ironic that you get better drops of jagged teeth off of these than the tree dragons. Oh, that was a nice hit. Ped and a half for one. Now these are definitely one of my favorite low level mobs to hunt. Right? They only have like 20 hit points. They're considered a level 5 threat. I think they're overconned. They get pretty good skills. I mean, we're getting pretty reasonable jumps on our professions and whatnot compared to what we would normally see. And then they drop a bunch of this markup loot that we'll either utilize and not have to buy for what we were about to do, or we'll sell it off for a bonus payment at the end. Try and get ourselves a land deed or something, like one of those Calypso land deeds or the Arcadia Underground deeds. I'm a big fan of collecting those. Super big fan, you might say, of all those, and that new that Entropia exchange where you can get the shares of Crystal Palace and Next Island, sorry, Ancient Greece, Crystal Palace, and Treasure Island. And so I hold a small amount of all those, and so I'm a big fan of that. I also kind of consider it like an investment in the game, so to speak. One, it'll pay dividends or whatever as they earn, you'll get a payout. But it just kind of reconfirms my support of the game because well, I hold a bunch of stuff that only has value in the game. Oh, that was a nice one too. A pen and a half doesn't seem like much, but these are super cheap to kill. Let's look at our weapon. We're not using very much at all. 7. So typically about 2 shots per kill. So it's literally 7 peck per kill or so. And so a pen and a half is 20 times value or something. Oh, there's a bone. But mainly we really like the skills. The fact that we're able to break even or come close. Closer than we would on some of the other mobs. Definitely closer than we come on Calypso. Just because the stuff here has a lot more markup. There's another pad one. These are looking pretty nice today, honestly. But at 0.1% on the Codex per kill, it's about 1,000 kills to get the next rank. And so this definitely falls into that easy after work hunt. You can just kind of kick back, gain some skills, work through some rifles. Um, and skilling up on these, your ped will definitely go a little further um, than it will on punies on Calypso or some other areas. And so these are good choice. Just because of the quick skilling um, on top of the loot, like I said earlier. Oh, it had me trying to interact with the statue, I guess. Interesting. And the Codex rewards aren't amazing, but it's a super low hit point mob. Single maturity. What is the same is the attribute gains for doing the Codex for these guys. And so that's kind of why I think when you take it as a package deal, these guys are fall into the A grade, excellent to hunt zone. I mean, it takes about 7 pack to kill one of these. That's about 0.1%. So this rank of the Codex is only about 70 ped, give or take. A little more because we have decay on the gun and that synchronous amp that we got on there. So we'll call it 80 ped. I don't think it's really 80, probably closer to 75. And that's if we use the entirety of the gun, which we won't on this rank. So now that I think about 70 is probably a reasonable guess. 72 or 75, somewhere in there. But it goes fairly quickly. Obviously, it's starting to slow down as we keep progressing the ranks. Because you need more and more ped cycle through for each rank. And there's only one maturity, and so the amount we can cycle is the amount we can cycle. I mean, I guess we can switch to a really big gun and overkill them to a pretty large level. I'm not sure that's in our best interest. We've gotten up for almost 3 attempts on the that inked here today. I'm super excited about how much of those drops we're getting. Normally they're not. It's definitely a little better today than I've seen in the past, is what I'll say. I don't know what to attribute that to. Could just be a good day, some lucky rolls on the loot pool. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not real sure what influences loot composition. I don't know why I had a hard time saying that. It would be nice to know kind of what goes into that, so you know what to work up. Haven't figured that one out quite yet. If I do, I'll be working that skill up in a hurry, right? If you can get less muscle oil and oil residue and more 300 to 600% markup loop, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? No, I've never globaled on these. I'm not even sure what that would look like. Probably shrapnel like everywhere else. They're just so low a hit point mob that it's going to be really hard to get a big enough multiplier to have it global. Looks like our amp's about to break, which will be alright. We'll just remove it and keep going a little bit. See if we can't maximize the skill gain. We're going to get up this skill pill a little bit. Well, we do get some every time we end up depositing and getting some ammo. I still like to not be frivolous with their use and try to get the maximum amount I can out of them. Alright, let's remove that amp then. 'Cause it's saying 2 damaged. Nice, we're making pretty good progress on that, our ranged laser damage profession there. Which is good because we can't upgrade to the next Armatrex weapon, the LR40, until we hit level 45 on that laser damage. And so for whatever reason, sometimes these guys give a basically a 4 times skill boost, it seems. To where like you normally would only see a .03 something, but this time it was .14. Um, kind of similar. There's this mob on Rocktopia. Um, I believe it's the bank robber. But you need something that's super, has very, very low hit points. to the point where like the Buchan rifle adjusted Buchan was overkill.